What's up, guys? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our videos. Also, make sure you follow us all over social media so you don't miss any of our content or show announcements. This piece with LeBron here next to Luka might very well be the best roster that you're ever able to put together alongside Luka Doncic, and yet their eye is on the future. While the Clippers seem more focused on getting the most out of this group, on capitalizing on this era. It's particularly interesting to me because both teams are second-tier teams. Neither of these teams are on the level of the top teams in the league. They're just kind of in that next level down where a move could potentially move them into that range, right? And both teams have an obvious retirement drop-off coming. Whether it's James Harden's potential downfall over the next couple of years, Kawhi Leonard's knee trouble, or LeBron being 41 years old at the end of next season, right? They both are in very similar positions. There's reasoning for both teams to go in either direction. So why are they going in different directions? I think the answer to this is simple. The Clippers trust their basketball philosophy. They know they'll be able to pivot when the time comes without too much of an issue. They just did it. They let Paul George walk, which ended up being perfect timing as his knees have just failed him since he went to Philly. And they signed Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn for about $15 million a year, $35 million less than Paul George, and they got better. Why did they get better? Because of that lack of redundancy. Because, like we talked about in yesterday's pod, a role player that fills a specific team need can be more valuable to winning basketball games than a star talent, a concept that has eluded the Lakers ever since Jerry Buss left the team, or passed away, I should say. What is that strong basketball philosophy? The Clippers know what works in the modern NBA. And they know they'll always be able to find the next player that they need to fill a role. That philosophy is everything that we've discussed at length over the previous couple of years. The value of advantage creation. When you have a player like James Harden that can set up players with an advantage, meaning a defender sprinting at them from an opening rather than having to play against a loaded up defense, if you do that, every single one of those role players will overachieve based on those advantages. James Harden is one of the highest floor offensive players in the NBA. The value of jump shooting. The Clippers have consistently been one of the best jump shooting teams in the league year after year after year. The value of a strong defensive foundation in the form of a versatile center. They saw the value in Zubac that the Lakers did not see. And his ability to defensive rebound, protect the rim, defend even in switches. He's a better switch defender than he ever gets credit for. He has given them the strong defensive foundation. The value of perimeter defense and overall team speed. This was the beauty of getting Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn. Players that were available. Derrick Jones Jr. just had a playoff run with Luka Doncic where he made the finals and was immensely important as the primary point of attack defender. Did a wonderful job on Anthony Edwards. But all the other teams looked at it and they went, oh, he's just benefiting from Luka. The Clippers saw this is one of the most important traits that an NBA player can have, the ability to guard the opposing best player and to be able to run up and down the floor in transition. Chris Dunn as well. A facsimile of that at $5 million a year. They saw the value there. The value of coaching. The Lakers let Ty Lue walk. The Clippers saw value in Ty Lue. For the Lakers, they were like, oh, LeBron won the title. Yeah, he did. But Ty Lue was one of the best coaches in the league. The Lakers didn't see that. The Clippers did. The value of schematic approach on both ends of the floor. Look at what Darvin Ham failed to do with the Lakers. This has been apparent to me for a while. And it's why I was so high on the Clippers going into last season. I know people like to roast the Clippers and their failures, but we all know what that was. I'm not sitting here and pretending like the bubble wasn't a disaster. The bubble was a disaster. But every other year they've been there, Kawhi's looked great. They've looked like a team with a real chance to go, and then his knee just breaks down. If Kawhi stays healthy, they most likely win the title in 2021. This is a team that has been there. They've just had really poor luck with their injuries, right? The Lakers have no basketball ideology beyond how do we get the next star? It's why they wanted Kawhi first, before pivoting to a championship core of role players. It's why they traded for Russell Westbrook. It's why they wouldn't trade picks for LeBron and AD when they were trying to win, at least not all of them, right? It's why they wouldn't retain Dorian Finney-Smith a couple weeks ago. It's why they won't trade their first round pick this summer to upgrade a starting 2 or a starting 3, because it's just not flashy enough to bring in a role player quality 2 guard. It's not press conference worthy. They want cap space and draft picks so that maybe, just maybe, they can get Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic. Look at the Jake LaRavia signing, for example. And again, I like Jake LaRavia. I think he's a fine player. This is not about him in a vacuum. What is the one thing that this Lakers roster has been sorely missing for years? Athleticism, especially on the perimeter. Speed, team speed. Jake LaRavia doesn't materially move the needle on that at all. They've needed athleticism for years, and they've made quite literally no attempt to address that need. I had Lakers fans tell me this morning, well, the Lakers have a title in the LeBron era, and the Clippers literally have 0 titles in franchise history. You're right. LeBron James chose the Lakers because he wanted to live in Los Angeles. And he used his friendship with Anthony Davis and his agency to bring AD over, and they won a championship. But then Rob Pelinka almost immediately blew up that core in a way that literally everybody knew was dumb in the moment. You'll be hard-pressed to find a Lakers fan that was like, oh, this is smart. KCP and Kyle Kuzma for Russell Westbrook, and we'll let Alex Caruso walk in the ensuing salary crunch. Everyone knew it was a bad idea. They blew it up right away. And if you zoom out, for over a decade, from 2013 to 2025, the Lakers have mostly been a massively underachieving mess relative to the talent when they had LeBron and AD, and obviously the inability to put together a competent basketball team around that. While the Clippers have consistently been in the upper echelons of the NBA. They've even pivoted multiple times in that span. Do you guys remember that feisty playoff team? I think it was 2019. The team with Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams, that team that like straight up was causing some problems for the Golden State Warriors. They were feisty even before Kawhi and Paul George joined the team. The Lakers and their star-driven approach, it worked really well in the Jerry Buss era. And yeah, you still need a top-tier star to win the title. I'm not trying to undercut that. But after you have that top star, the rest of the job comes entirely down to quality team building and understanding what works in the modern NBA. We've seen so many examples of over-indexing on stars not work. The latest being this Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal Suns team. It doesn't work. Let's say things go south with the Nuggets and the Lakers get Nikola Jokic. You don't think Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic have some redundancies? They're 2 of the best advantage creators in the league. There's a redundancy there. It would have diminishing returns, in my opinion. The Lakers will not experience sustained success in the NBA until they learn this lesson. End of story. And I just think it's really fascinating. Like the Clippers are just like, yeah, we're going to go for it with this. And then, when Kawhi's done and James Harden's done, we'll just do it again. Because we know it works. We know how to win in the NBA. So we'll just do it again from scratch. Or, half pivot, whatever it is that they end up doing at that point in time. And they'll be fine. They've had sustained success because they understand how to win basketball games. And it's not what you can say in a press conference about who you obtained, but rather what you can accomplish on the basketball court, perimeter defense and speed, a strong defensive foundation in the form of rim protection and defensive rebounding and the ability to switch, the value of jump shooting at every position. Like, they just get it organizationally, and the Lakers don't. And until that changes, again, there will not be sustained success from the Lakers.